There's a guy who lives across the street from me who is someone I like to call Fit Dad. As you might expect, Fit Dad is fit and a dad. He's got a great family, great wife, great kids, great house, and he looks great. And he just works on it, you can tell, and he's proud of it. And I hate Fit Dad. Anything you can do outside, Fit Dad does without a shirt. He mows his lawn, he cleans out his garage, he plays with his kids, he exercises. One day I saw him drag out a kiddie pool for his kids into the front yard and then pull out all of his workout equipment, a bench, free weights, jump rope, everything, and proceed to work out intensely with his shirt off. I mean, ladies were jogging by and they were stumbling over their feet as this man worked on his physique. Now, I can't blame him, okay? If you look like that, if you work that hard, you should show it off if you want. My problem is, I don't think Fit Dad should exist. Before I learned about Fit Dad, I thought it was only possible to either have a healthy, physical, great shaped body or a great family. Not both, because if you focus on one, you are going to start neglecting the other just by default. There's no way you can do both. But Fit Dad has proven me wrong. And there probably is a Fit Dad or mom in your neighborhood as well that makes you feel awful without them even trying. Like, they're not trying to make you feel bad, but they just make you feel like garbage. It may be the person who, when you're at the park with your kids, once they start playing by themselves, you check out on your phone just to kind of cope a little bit with the chaos of the day. Well, this is the dad or mom across the way who is like doing burpees or jogging around, or maybe like actually like playing with their kids and using them as a bench press or whatever. Like, these are the parents who make you feel bad. Or maybe it's in the morning when you shove your kids out of the car with all their stuff at the school drop-off line and you take a big long sip of that drink that is equal parts coffee and cinnamon bun flavored creamer. And then you look out and you see Fit Dad or mom who walk their kids to school, give them a kiss on the cheek, say goodbye, and then set their Apple Watch to go on a jog. These are the people who are just unreal. I can't believe they're actually real people, but they are. You might be frustrated with this as I was, because we spent our entire lives trying to let go of the idea that we could look perfect. Growing up, we didn't know what Photoshop was and airbrushing and all these things that made celebrities look perfect. We didn't know about that. And then later in life, we learned about those things and realized like, hey, the perfect body does not exist. And for a while we lived that way. And then we ran into Fit Mom or Fit Dad and saw like, wow, it is possible to look really great and also have a really great family. And I think a lot of us may have a similar story growing up. Maybe we had a great childhood, but we were the overweight child and we didn't do exactly what everybody else did, didn't look the same way, we were uncomfortable in our bodies. And then we kind of grew up and maybe we had kind of a nice little like time where we finally figured out how to eat right, our body stretched out a little bit after puberty, and we lived well. And then kids came along and changed everything. For me growing up, I was a little bit overweight. My mom was the one that was always trying to get me to like eat less a little bit and like maybe you should go outside and play and trick me into activities. And then she bought us an N64. So that was, you know, she shot herself in the foot on that because once you bought that, I was not exercised. But as I grew up and hit puberty, I kind of stretched out a little bit, got a little healthier without much effort. And then I went to college and there was a Wendy's in the bottom of my dorm and that didn't help me at all. And then I went to Weight Watchers and it was incredible. And finally in my early 20s, I figured it out. I knew how to eat well, take care of my body, exercise as much as I needed to without hating it. I found the sweet spot. And then I got married and I had kids and that fell apart. After kids come along, we all decline naturally. Even as we just get older without kids, our bodies are going to change. Moms who give birth to children by growing them inside their bodies are unparalleled in the trauma that they face and how their body changes. So I can't even begin to like imagine or empathize with that because I didn't do that. But I will say that no matter what, when kids come into the picture, it becomes harder to take care of our bodies. It becomes more difficult to eat healthy and work out as much as we want to because kids just demand so much of our energy that we don't have it to spend on ourselves. Now, I started to take comfort in Beyonce. Here's the deal about Beyonce. She is awesome and everybody loves her and she's incredible and she has kids and she has a career and she's great. And I noticed over the years that people were realizing a lot of her pictures were photoshopped. She would tuck things and smooth things and flatten things and they could find the traces of that. And I thought, whoa, First of all, she shouldn't feel like she should have to do that. Like, that's nuts that she feels that way, and I hate that about our culture. But second, if she has all the resources and she has all the abilities and she has all the help she needs to have that close to perfect body, and even she doesn't have it, what hope is there for us? What hope is there for the rest of us? We've got to let go of this idea that our bodies can be as great as we imagine them to be one day. It's not going to happen. If even Beyonce can't meet her own goals with all of her resources, I know that you and I can't. And the bottom line for this is I really want you to understand that that's okay. It is okay. And I know for years we spent like time letting go of the idea that we can be perfect, but now we're back in this world where we just hate the way we look. We're like, oh my gosh, I could look better, but these kids are draining me. And it's okay for now to not be what you want to be. If you just gave birth, or if you're a new dad at home, or you're trying to like wrestle kids every night, you don't have the energy to exercise, like let go of that idea of having this body that you want. Of course, take care of yourself. Of course, like I wouldn't encourage you to eat a whole package of Oreos by yourself. That's just like basic stuff, but give yourself a break. Like parenting is so difficult. Yes, there's fit moms and dads out there that look like they got it under control. That's just the way they're geared. They like to live that way. They're able to live that way, and we can't compare ourselves to them. Now imagine everyone in the world is blind except you. If that were the case, if truly no one could see your body, and really the only one who could know what size you were like intimately close, like partners and like friends you give hugs to, what would you want your body to look like? What would you want your body to be? To me, that's what you should hone in on. It's not this idea of like, I'm trying to look a certain way for other people. How do you want to feel? And some of you want to look great for yourself, and that's awesome. And I encourage that. Like, live your life in such a way that you're happy with yourself in a healthy way. But during this parenting season, just take a back seat. Imagine everyone was blind. And if that's the case, shoot for that body. Like, go for that goal, and that can be a more realistic way of looking at what health is going to be during the next few years as you take care of kids. Because there will come a day when you can work out as much as you want. You can eat right. You can make healthy choices without having to think about how it impacts your time with your kids or what they're eating or what you have to do. There's going to come a day where you can focus on that to your heart's content. But wait, you don't have to try and do that now and also be the best mom and dad you can be. Yes, be healthy. Your kids need you around. Your kids need you to be able to run and jump and play. Absolutely care for your body. But give yourself a break a little bit when you feel bad about yourself, when you feel like you're falling short, because we're in the craziest season of our lives with little kids, and you can take a break. You can back off on that dream body. You can back off on that workout routine and focus on your kids during this season. But until that day comes and the kids are no longer demanding every ounce of your attention and energy, here's a couple things you can do. First of all, in regard to movement, it's just move when you can. I am not someone who has like a workout routine. You cannot look at my body and say, wow, that's someone I want to follow their example. I'm just giving you some advice. When it comes to movement and you're feeling like, man, I'm just not moving enough, just move more. You know, I made fun of Fit Dad and Fit Mom earlier doing burpees in the park, but maybe they're onto something. Listen, you may not have to do like a full-blown workout routine while your kids are playing on the swings, but go for a walk around the park. If your kids are able to play independently for a little bit, just walk the perimeter of the playground. Like, look at your phone, take a stroll. Anytime you can move instead of sit and it makes sense, just do it. You know, this is something as simple as parking farther away. We all know about that when we go to the grocery store or anything like that. Or maybe it's every 30 minutes in your house, walking around inside the house. Your kids will think you're crazy the first day, and then they'll just say, oh, that's mom, that's dad. Every 30 minutes, they walk around the house for 10 minutes. Just start moving when you can. Yeah, we aren't gonna be able to run a marathon maybe, but you can move, you can get up, you can look at your phone while strolling around the house instead of sitting on the couch. Yeah, take a break when you need it. But if you are concerned about your lack of movement, you can easily fit that in a low stakes way just by getting up and moving when it's possible. And another area that we struggle with is probably eating. Now, before kids came along, we could have whatever we wanted in our house within reason. Like, we were in charge of that. But then kids came along and we started keeping crackers and candy and cookies and all these different things. And like, oh my gosh, every holiday has a specific candy. So we always have a bag of seasonal candy. I don't know how, but it never goes away regardless of the season. There's gonna come a day where that's not around. But until then, here's some things you can do. But first of all, fight the temptation to eat the leftovers from your kids' plate. Listen, I pay for food in my home. My wife and I work together and we pay for the food, okay? Watching a chicken nugget go in the trash can is heartbreaking. I'm telling you, like, you're watching money go down the drain, and then you think, okay, well, I'll put it in the fridge and they'll eat it later. Not my kids. Like, my kids are like, listen, the second it touches the cold air of that fridge, it becomes an touchable food. Okay, they just don't even care about it. So we have to throw it away. So there's a couple things you can do. First and foremost, I would make a rule: don't eat anything off of your kid's plate. Now, that takes a little bit of discipline, but it's a very small amount of discipline. It's like, hey, I am only going to eat the things that I put on my plate. I do not care what ends up on my child's plate at the end of the night. I'm not going to touch it. That's not for me, whatever. And you may think, well, if I don't eat it, or at least it doesn't go to waste if I eat it, and that's not the case. Like, it's still being wasteful. Your body reaches a point where it doesn't need that food anymore, and you're just wasting it by turning it into fat, so just throw in the trash. The next thing you can do is just put less food on your kid's plate. Now, I did not know that 75% of parenting was begging children to eat food. Literally, and not even like healthy food. I'm talking chicken nuggets, pizza, hamburgers, just begging them to eat. And then you still have some left over. And parents, we're dumb. We have these high hopes. When we make this delicious meal, like, oh, they're gonna want a lot of this and they're gonna love this, and we just fill that plate up. And then they eat like gerbils, okay? They eat almost nothing, and we throw it away. So just put less on their plate. I guarantee you, if they're still hungry, they'll ask for more. They'll say, hey, I really want some more food. That wasn't enough. They will tell you. So just have lower expectations for that mealtime. Put a little bit of food on the plate and then have them ask for more. That way you're not throwing as much away and you're not feeling the temptation to eat what's left over. Now, there are endless amounts of fitness and eating tips on social media that can be quite overwhelming. I want you to put your best tips in the comments. If you have ideas on how you take care of your body and how you eat right while parenting, I'd love for you to share that, because we're building a community here of parents helping parents. So make sure to like and subscribe so you can keep up with all my future videos about how we can be better parents together, and also to join the community of people helping each other as we kind of navigate parenting. But just moving a little bit more and maybe eating a little bit less are going to be some things you can do to feel better about your body while you're focusing all your time and energy on keeping little humans alive. Because you're not lazy, you're a parent.